The newly elected members of Congress took office with the expectation that they would find a long-term answer to the issue of the employment-based green card backlog, but it is possible that they will leave office without any answer at all.
Visit our Swat&Vee channel with your questions to see how best we can help you out with your process. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel.
Now, let's get into the video. Economists have found foreign-born scientists and engineers are vital to the competitiveness of companies in the United States and the American economy. The ability to recruit global talent is a key factor that has contributed to U.S. leadership in science and research. This talent has been vital for the development of U.S. science and responsible for numerous discoveries and innovations that have improved quality of life. At U.S. universities, international students account for 74% of the full-time graduate students in electrical engineering and 72% in computer and information sciences, as well as 50% to 70% in fields that include mathematics and materials sciences. Due to a low annual limit on employment-based green cards and a per-country limit of 7% from a single country, the Congressional Research Service, CRS, estimates that more than 2 million people from India will be waiting in the U.S. employment-based immigrant backlog by 2030. Many foreign-born scientists and engineers will potentially wait decades before gaining permanent residence and a chance to become U.S. citizens. The impact on competitiveness is significant. At U.S. universities, graduate students in science and engineering declined by nearly 40% between 2016 and 2019, according to a National Foundation for American Policy (NFAP) analysis. During the same period, 2016 to 2019, Indian students attending Canadian colleges and universities increased 182%. The difference in enrollment trends is largely a result of it being much easier for Indian students to work after graduation and become permanent residents in Canada compared to the United States. Chinese student interest in attending U.S. universities has also declined. In February 2021, the U.S. Citizenship Act, H.R. 1177, developed by the Biden administration, was introduced in Congress. The bill contained many immigration provisions and would have put an end to the employment-based immigrant backlog within 10 years. It included a higher annual green card limit, eliminated the per-country limit, provided permanent residence for those waiting with an approved immigrant petition for 10 years and excluded dependents from being counted against the annual limit. See here, it also would have exempted individuals with PhD.S in STEM, science, technology, engineering and math, fields from numerical limits. Due to GOP opposition and the 60-vote filibuster threshold in the Senate, the U.S. Citizenship Act turned out to be a messaging or placeholder bill that did not move in Congress. To obtain green card relief, a different measure would need to become law. The America Competes, CHIPS, Act is. The best opportunity for employment-based immigration looked like legislation aimed at enhancing U.S. competitiveness in semiconductors. On February 4, 2022, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the America Competes Act 222-210. The bill contained several immigration provisions but garnered only one Republican vote. In June 2021, the Senate passed a similar bill without any immigration measures. The House bill created an exemption from annual green card limits and backlogs for foreign nationals with a PhD in STEM fields and those with a master's degree in a critical industry, such as semiconductors. The bill also included Representative Zoe Lofgren's, DCA, like act to give foreign-born entrepreneurs an opportunity to earn lawful permanent residence. A recent NFAP report on immigrant founders of billion-dollar companies concluded many innovations only become useful through entrepreneurship. During a House-Senate Conference Committee, Rep. Lofgren urged the Senate to accept the House's immigrant measures. The Biden administration, businesses and universities wanted to see, at minimum, the exemption for individuals with PhD.S in STEM fields become law. The exemption for STEM PhD.S was likely doomed the moment Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, RKY, appointed Senator Charles Grassley, RYA, to the bill's conference committee. McConnell gave Grassley, the ranking Republican member on the Senate Judiciary Committee, a veto, in effect, over any immigration provision. Over several months, he exercised that veto and no group of Senate Republicans stepped forward to prevent it. Another legislative vehicle, a budget reconciliation bill, became law without any measures to relieve the green card backlog or make other positive immigration changes. For months, Democrats in Congress talked about using budget reconciliation to enact immigration reforms. The reconciliation process overcomes Senate filibuster rules by allowing passage with a simple majority. However, under congressional rules, reconciliation can only include certain measures. The Senate parliamentarian advised in late 2021 that including provisions to legalize undocumented immigrants in a budget reconciliation bill would violate Senate rules. Senate Democrats also gave green card backlog reduction language informally to the Senate parliamentarian, but she did not provide a ruling on it, according to a congressional source. Immigration reform supporters pointed to language recapturing unused employment-based green cards that became law in budget reconciliation in 2005. However, the Senate parliamentarian said, according to the congressional source, that the earlier parliamentarian never approved that language and it was allowed because nobody at the time raised a budget point of order since the provision was supported on a bipartisan basis. In that context, it becomes clearer why, at different times, Senator Richard Durbin, D.E.L., and Senator Bob Menendez, DNJ, threw cold water on the idea of including green card provisions in reconciliation. A Senate parliamentarian's advice can be overcome by a vote, but Senator Durbin indicated getting all Senate Democrats to vote against a parliamentarian's ruling on immigration was not realistic. The issue appeared to be moot until Senator Joe Manchin, DWV, reached a deal with other Democrats and the reconciliation bill became the Inflation Reduction Act. The bill passed Congress without any green card measures. Senate Democrats voted against all amendments to the legislation, including those that would have restricted access to asylum via the public health measure Title 42. Another legislative vehicle emerged due to international events. After Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, a weak point for the Putin regime was its ability, or inability, to keep high-skilled technical talent living and working inside Russia. Washington Post columnist Catherine Rampell recommended using legislation to drain Putin's brains. In a letter to the House on April 28, 2022, the Biden administration provided legislative language on Russian scientists and engineers as part of the FY 2022 emergency supplemental funding for Ukraine. The language would have allowed Russians with a master's or doctoral degree in a STEM field to obtain permanent residence, a green card, without a backlog or employer sponsorship. The emergency supplemental for Ukraine passed Congress without any non-spending measures, including the provision for Russian scientists and engineers. In July 2022, hopes were high the FY 2023 Defense Authorization Bill would include an amendment on green cards for individuals with PhD.S in science and engineering. In what has become a familiar story, it was not to be.
I hope you guys found this video extremely helpful. If you know anybody that could benefit from this information, definitely make sure to share this video with them. We are all about empowering you with knowledge. So the more people that can benefit from this video, the more people we want watching this video. If you like this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs icon. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit on the notification bell for more immigration updates. Bye!